Have you ever felt like you lost yourself? Or maybe you're feeling this right now, like you've lost yourself somewhere along the way. And if you don't even know who you are anymore, or maybe you're going through a life change and there's a pivot, whether it's intentional or unintentional, and you kind of don't know where to turn to start creating this new you or refining this you, this authentic you. Have you been taking care of everyone else so much that you've left yourself behind and you're ready to reclaim her? If that's you, you are absolutely in the right place. That was me. A handful of years ago, I found myself in that exact position. Now, although I have been spiritual my entire life, I've been able to talk to my spirit guides, connect in with them, hear my intuition very naturally from birth. Although I was able to do that, I didn't understand the power I had living within myself, being a spiritual being, having a human experience. Being spiritual and connecting in with your soul are two very different things. So if you find yourself being drawn to spirituality, maybe you're ready to come out of the spirituality closet, you're in the right place. If you're ready to find your authentic soul self, you're in the right place. Having a spiritual foundation isn't necessary, but it also won't give you what you're looking for. And that's to be able to reconnect into who you are and know that the next steps you take are meaningful, impactful, like you have purpose. You want that joy back. Maybe you never had it. Maybe you're looking for something new. Bottom line is having a spiritual awakening is wonderful, but having a soul awakening is something I can't put words to. Once you're able to connect in with your soul's voice, she who knows everything about you, who you are, what you're not, why you came here, the lessons you wanted to learn, she has all the answers. So when you have that soul awakening, it allows you to tap into your infinite wisdom, and you will never, ever have to second guess yourself, your choices, and your value ever again. For 20 years, I heard, you can't do this alone. I was struggling in life because everything felt off. On paper, I made all the right choices, but I wasn't fulfilled in life. I didn't know what was missing. And I kept hearing a voice say, you can't do this alone. I turned to many different vices, like we all do: chocolate, wine, over-exercising, under-exercising, new hobbies. I couldn't find it because I was trying to do it on my own. I kept hearing, you can't do this alone. I didn't know where that was coming from, but it was persistent. And one morning I realized I didn't know what to do anymore. So I got down on my knees and I looked up into the universe and I asked for help. I said, I surrender. Guide me. Show me the way. I will get out of my own way. I keep trying so hard and it's not working. Up until that point, I felt like I could be in a room full of people and I felt so alone. You wouldn't know it from the outside, but that's what was going on inside. But that day that I got down and asked for help, not trying to do it on my own, I was in a room by myself, but I felt like I was in a room full of people. Something had changed that morning. I was on a run after that. The world stopped. My world stopped. And I heard, "You never have to be afraid again. I am with you." I didn't know who that was, but I believed them. They heard my call, they answered my call, and my life started changing. And shortly after that, I took myself on a personal retreat to find myself, figure out who this voice was. Remember, keep in mind, my entire life I talked to my spirit guides. I knew how to channel energy. I knew, but this was different. What was the difference? I allowed my human to meet my soul for the very first time. And as soon as I did, my life changed. That voice was me, my higher self, my whole being. My soul was speaking to me. That's soul intuition. And that's what changed my life. And I want that for you. The biggest struggle we have in understanding our intuition is that, for one, our brain is so busy with the noise of this world, so busy with our to-do list. The difficult part is quieting our mind. But if we get that far, then what? The biggest challenge is that we think intuition or being psychic means something that we're not experiencing, yet we are. We just don't know our personal intuitive language. If you're looking for an image in front of you, but you're actually clairaudient, where you receive your messages more easily through hearing, like I did that day, you're always going to be looking for something that you'll never get. And the whole time you're receiving messages and you don't even know it. So learning how to find your intuitive language, there are 4 main ones, we will go over them today, is crucial in being able to start receiving the messages easily, because they're already there. We just have to recognize how to receive them and then practice decoding them. Your soul always knows what it needs to heal and move forward in life. It's crucial if we want to live in fulfillment, joy, and with purpose. Going off of our soul's guidance is the treasure that's hiding in plain sight. It's right there for the taking. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Christy Bergonzi. I am a Reiki master, energy healer, and teacher. A mind, body, and soul connection, intuition coach. And I've been in the professional, spiritual, healing, and coaching world for over 22 years. And my purpose is to help you find, connect in with your authentic soul self so that you too can find your fulfillment, joy, and purpose. Thank you for being here today. Today, we are going to learn the basics of intuition. We're also going to learn the 4 different intuitive languages. We're going to learn how to decipher what is the difference between basic, instinctual, psychic, and soul intuition. We're then going to find what your intuitive psychic superpower is. And finally, we're going to finish up with going on a soul journey for your human to meet your soul. Before we begin, I'm going to request 2 things of you. If you haven't already, come up with a question, one question, an open-ended question, direct but open-ended, for your soul to answer when we go on our hypnotic journey. Start thinking about it now. The second thing is for you to go into the comments if you haven't already. Pull up that workbook. You can scroll through it as we move along today or tap into it when we finish up. I highly encourage you to work through the workbook. That's for you. It's a gift from me to you. If you do everything in that workbook and participate today, be open to receiving whatever it is that comes through, you'll be on your way. If you want further help and assistance and support, DM me. So let's get into it. I know you have your cell phone around you. I've got mine. I would love for you to take a picture, a selfie right now, because I want you to see yourself before we start. That humanness. Who are you right now? Take that photo right now. I'll give you a minute. We will be circling back to this photo. So please take that photo. And if you don't have your phone on you handy, tap into how are you feeling? How do you feel right now? And remember that feeling. Wonderful. Let's get into it. Did you know that connecting into your authentic self is actually connecting in with your soul self? It's one and the same. And your intuition is the way that we have that connection. Without our intuition, there would be no back and forth. We wouldn't be able to feel what is right. We wouldn't be able to know what is right. We wouldn't be able to see or hear what is right. So the first step into connecting in with your authentic self, which is what we want to do, we want to find who we are at our core so we can find that fulfillment and joy. It all starts with intuition. Who would have known, right? How are we supposed to know? We're not taught. In fact, not only are we not taught intuition, we're not encouraged to work with it or to know how to work with it. But in fact, we're actually discouraged. As a young child, we're taught rules, analytical thinking, black and white, straightforward, result-based. You are pulled away from your intuition at a very young age. No wonder why we don't know how to receive our messages. If we feel something and someone has ever told us, no, you're wrong. It's X, Y, and Z, but you knew it. We're never going to put ourselves out there. So, what is intuition? Intuition is an understanding or a knowing, simple knowing, without the need for conscious reasoning. It takes nothing into account other than the fact that you just know, however, you received it, which you will learn in a little bit how you receive your messages. It's simply immediate, no analyzation, just knowing. So, why do you think? Put in the comments. Why do you think that learning how to decode your intuition is so important? What are your thoughts? One of the main reasons is it actually bridges the gap between the conscious and the unconscious. Without that gap that bridges, we would simply have analytical thinking. So, learning how to decode, you get another puzzle piece to your life to help you out. Why would we not tap into the infinite resources that is our birthright? Why would we not tap into that? It's free and it can be easy. So, what do you think the difference is? I know that everyone talks about psychic readings or being psychic, but how does that differ from intuition? Is it the same? Is it different? What are your thoughts? Put them in the comments. What have you heard? What are the myths? What are your beliefs? I want to hear from you. What do you think? Well, the difference is being psychic is actually strictly energetic. So, what being able to give a psychic reading or reading the psychic energy is simply reading the energy around a person, place, or thing at the moment. So, if nothing, absolutely nothing changes, you can determine the flow of what's going on. But all it's doing is simply reading the energy. If you're an energy worker, then you are psychic. You're reading what's going on. I have clients that I still have a few select handful of clients that I see. When they walk in the door, I'm psychically checking them out. So all I'm doing is reading their energy. It has nothing to do with me intuitively talking to my soul or receiving messages from spirit guides or from the divine or the angels. It has no communication back and forth. I'm simply reading what is with my psychic superpower strengths. That's how I read it. You might read the same way, you might read differently. You'll find out in a little bit. But it's not a predictor of the future. And keep in mind, the future is not set in stone. We are free willed human beings. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. The spirit world, including our higher selves, will not step in because we are allowing ourselves to have this human experience with free will, which can be ever changing. I can change my mind on a dime right now, change the entire trajectory of my life if I choose to. I have free will. That means it's also my choice to connect in with my soul intuition if I choose. Why would I not want the help? I mean, why would I not want the help? I do. It changed my life. So, being psychic is simply reading the energy in that moment. It's not fortune telling or predicting anything. It could potentially predict something if nothing changes. If that person still keeps the same limiting beliefs, the same habits, the same autopilot living, the same, then it's pretty obvious, pretty predictable. Anyways, you don't have to be psychic to know that. So the difference is that intuition is actually a communication. It's messages from somewhere, source, to you. And did you know that there is actually a difference between instinctual, basic intuition and soul intuition? We touched on it a little bit earlier, but to refresh our memories, instinctual intuition is those gut feelings, and it usually is in a danger survival instinct mode. We're not trying to tap into anything. We're walking down a dark alley. We get a yucky feeling and we just get out of there. It's built in, hardwired for our survival. It's our fight or flight. If we want to calm down and we tap here, we can calm our nerves. Our instincts will soothe us. So instinctual intuition comes natural, and it usually is survival. Basic intuition is intuition across the board. That's setting the intention to connect and to receive communication. That could be with your spirit guides. That could be with angels, loved ones. It's also known as mediumship. So the in between, talking, communicating. But the difference between those and soul intuition is that with soul intuition, you're talking directly, communicating directly with your authentic soul self. No one else. What does that mean? What does that mean? Who is your soul? Who's your higher self? What does that mean, Christy? That story I told you in the beginning, when I heard that voice, which was my soul, then I got down and asked for help. I knew I was heard. And then I met my soul for the first time. Up until that point, I didn't realize that there's an energy literally living inside of me. I am a spiritual being having a human experience. I honor my human. Her name is Christy. I remember growing up, I always told my mom and my dad, I don't feel connected to the name Christy. I don't know why. I don't know why. Well, now I know why. That's my human name. The soul that lives in my human is like a computer. And I learn behaviors, beliefs, and traits from outside sources. And I document how it makes me feel. So my past will then predict my future because I am documenting like a computer, autopilot living. That's how most of us live. And that's how most of us will carry on. But if you're at the point where you want more, you're like, the material things aren't doing it for you anymore. Everything that you thought was there isn't. It's because your soul, who lives right at the top of your gut, you know that gut feeling? That's your soul talking to you. That's soul intuition. We have an energy living inside our human that is what gives us life. Our human expires. Our soul is pure energy. And if you know anything about energy, energy does not die, it moves. It is impossible for energy to die. You are energy. What do they do if your human stops breathing? They jolt you with energy, trying to get your energy back in your body. Your energy is your soul. Your soul moves through lessons. So when it's your human's body time to expire, your soul will not. But your soul is only a part of you. Up above in the seventh dimension, we're in the third dimension, we have a higher self. She is all of us. She is the first creation of who we are from ultimate source. Doesn't matter if you refer to that source as God, Allah, Buddha, universe, angels, nature. It doesn't matter to me. It's all the same thing. It's how we feel comfortable, what we feel connected with. So, whatever you choose to label, title, or use as your reference to connect in with it or talk about it, it's all free game to me because, in my belief, we are referencing the same thing. Religion, we are craving that connection. So the first incarnation in the energetics, the first product of you, who you are, is your higher self. She lives in the seventh dimension. She is the first and whole part of you. All of your characteristics. We are the same when we cross back over to the lighter dimensions. We are the same. But your higher self is so big with energy that only a portion of her can occupy this dense, heavy, limiting human that we call, for me, Christy. So my soul incarnates off of my higher self into my form. That allows me to connect. I have part of me here, most of me there. So if you are wondering who exactly our soul is, it's you, it's your higher self, just a fraction. Take that in. I'm going to look over some comments. Okay. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. So now that we know who our soul is, we know who we would be talking to. It's us. And we will not steer ourselves wrong. So, why do you think it's so difficult to tap into our intuition? Put it in the comments. Why do you think? Why are we having such a hard time? We went over some reasons why earlier. The top 3 reasons that I have found with working with myself for 42 years and my clients for 22 is we're so busy that there's so much noise up in here that we can't hear or receive. There's no space. If you're in a loud concert and your friend is whispering to you like your soul is, even if she's right next to you, you're going to have a difficult time hearing her, even if you're trying to hear her, let alone if you don't know she's trying to talk to you. Saying, hey, we have free tickets for the back. We can get in the back. Girl, let's get in the back. I have free tickets. But you can't hear, so you miss that opportunity. It's just like your soul trying to tell you, go left here at the light. You're going to miss that accident and you're going to run into a free ice cream vendor. Wouldn't that be nice, right? But we're so focused and busy and noisy that we're missing all these amazing opportunities. I love ice cream. I don't know about you. Can you tell? The second reason is that we don't believe. And if we do, then we don't trust. So we basically set ourselves up for failure. If we're willing to throw a Hail Mary out there and just say, okay, I'll believe, and then I'll put my trust and my willingness into trusting and then just seeing what happens, you'll surprise yourself. And the third and really big one is the fact that we don't know our intuitive language. So when we do get messages coming in we don't know that they are actually coming from our intuition. So let's learn about our intuitive languages. Have you ever heard of the clairs? Clair means clear. I think it's French, but it just means clear. So there are more than four, but four main intuitive languages. They're called the four clairs, and we will go through each one now. So the first one is clairaudient. That is clear hearing. Clear hearing. An example of that is what I was telling you before when I kept hearing, you can't do this alone. What that feels like is your inner reading voice talking to you. So you might get confused that it's a thought of yours. How you will know that it's not simply just a thought of your autopilot limiting human belief is it will come through clear, short, concise, with neutral energy. If it's followed up by a positive or negative feeling, that's you responding to it. But when it comes through, it's very direct, neutral. That's how you'll know that it's your clairaudient language coming through. That'll be very helpful for you to be able to, when you're practicing, to decipher. Was that me? Was that my intuition? Clairvoyance, clear seeing. One thing to keep in mind with this, a very, very common misconception of clairvoyance is that we are physically, with our human eyes, seeing things, talking to an energy that looks like another human being. 99% of the time, even the best clairvoyants don't receive the messages that way. It really and truly looks like an image in your head. If you close your eyes right now, think about a little girl with an ice cream cone. That image is the same type of way your clairvoyance will come through. So keep that in mind. Clairsentient, clear feeling. This is those gut feelings. You walk into a room and you just feel yucky. Maybe you're around someone and they just give you anxiety. You're clashing. Or that anxiety is letting you know that this situation isn't for you. Please, if you have anxiety issues, a lot of us do, and we range on a big scale. Please consult your doctor. Don't assume it's your intuition. Don't assume it's clairsentient. We are not doctors. But clairsentient is feeling. When I'm working with some clients, I don't even have to be in the same room. My right knee will start to hurt. And I'll ask them, what's going on with your right knee? Sometimes it's a physical injury, but most of the time, your right knee actually energetically symbolizes not being able to emotionally move forward in life. But see, I felt it on my body. Then I have to decode it because I know it was a clairsentient message. Now I decode. Where was that location? And through practice, I know that that means not being able to move on emotionally forward. So that's something that I want to clear, right? That tells me what I need to know to work on. Claircognizant, clear knowing. This one is the most difficult to recognize as an intuition because it's like it's just there. It wasn't there, now it's there. So the best example of this is if you've been trying to think about something for so long and you just can't come up with the answer and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, well, I'm just gonna go take a walk. And then all of a sudden it just boom, like drops in like a gift from the skies. That's claircognizant. Sometimes I'll just open my mouth and something will come out. That's claircognizant channeling. A lot of times I hear the message at the same time as the person I'm with. Like it's news to me too, because it didn't come from me. It's a knowing, and I just happen to open my mouth to say it If I didn't open my mouth, it would download in my brain. Keep in mind, all intuitive messages come through direct, clear, short, and usually with, well, always with with neutral emotion. When you're feeling something, that's different. That's a way for you to direct where you're going. All right. So now let's find out what your superpower is. And keep in mind, our workshop today is going to run about 75 minutes. So if you need to adjust some things right now, we will be going past the hour, just letting you know. So I hope you can stick with us until we get to the hypnotic journey where you're going to meet your soul. And keep thinking about that one question. We're going to ask your soul one question you want the answer to. So be thinking about that. Okay. So let's hop on over to the quiz. Here we go. All right. So either get a pen and paper, jot this down, keep an idea of where you're at with your answers being A, B, C, or D. There's 5 questions. And we'll start with the first one. You are about to go into a job interview and your intuition is telling you it's going to go well. So, what would you most likely experience? A calm voice reassuring you like this is the job. Do you see yourself like an image coming up of something nice and pleasant that calms you? Or something positive. Or maybe you see yourself in the interview and it looks like it's going well. Or do you feel when you walk into that office just all of a sudden very relaxed, like you have nothing to worry about? Or D, do you suddenly get a great idea of a point to make that you never even considered before and it just popped into your head? So choose A, B, C, or D. Don't think too much about this. Go, if you don't know, pretend that you do and answer right away. That's usually going to be the correct answer. Don't second guess. Put down the first thing. Okay, question 2. Your night flight is delayed and you're trying to decide whether to stick around the airport or just go back to the hotel. What is most likely to happen to you if you are getting an intuitive message? A, you hear your intuition tell you the word go. See? Simple, clear, precise, no emotion. Just like leave. Or do you B, maybe you saw an image of yourself like, oh, I could take that bubble bath, and you picture what you could be doing at the hotel to allow you to make the decision, would I rather do that or this? Or maybe C, do you begin to feel anxious, overwhelmed, irritated? Or do you feel calm? If you feel irritated, maybe you want to go back to the hotel. If you feel calm, maybe you want to stay. But the way it's coming through is through feeling. Or do you D, all of a sudden you have this, all of a sudden, like a breakthrough, like, oh my God, you know what? I am exhausted. I'm just going to go back. I didn't realize how exhausted I was until this time came up, this opportunity, and I got to go back. Okay, third question. You recently started dating someone, or maybe it's a new friendship, and your intuition is giving you good signs. Keep in mind, good signs. Which of these things are more likely to be you? Which one do you resonate with the most? A, you hear a voice saying, they're a good one, or um, they're there for you. This is a good person, something like that. Do you just hear, I like them? Maybe you B, see yourself with this person of all the things. So just an image pops in your head of the things that you are probably going to do. They like to do what I like to do. It pops into your mind. Or maybe C, you have a really good feeling about them. You just feel right when you're with them. Or D, do you just know? You just know. You almost feel like you've always known them. There's no emotion attached to it. It just is what it is. You know them. You're meant to be together. End of story. Okay, moving on. 4. You're at a party and your intuition is telling you that it's time to go. Are you more likely to hear yourself say, and you were thinking that it's us talking to us, which it is, but it's our soul saying, no one will be upset if you go. It's like you're almost convincing yourself, but actually you're receiving a message. Or B, do you see yourself snuggled up at home watching a movie you've been waiting to watch? Or maybe you just all of a sudden feel super tired and you just know it's time to go. Or do you suddenly realize, oh my gosh, my husband or roommates aren't home. I'm going to take advantage of this time. And you didn't even think about that and it just dropped in. Okay, last question. 5. Do you think you want to go to a specific place for vacation? How does your intuition tell you that it's the right spot? Do you hear, you got to go there, or this is for you, it's fun? Maybe you see yourself. Maybe you actually imagine yourself being there. And that determines, yeah? No. Maybe C, you get that warm, fuzzy feeling when you're looking at pictures of this location. Or D, do you keep getting ahas or downloads of like things you want to do, ideas, where you don't really know where those ideas came from, but they're popping in your head? All right, let's add up your scores. Where are you at? What are we finding? Put in the comments below. If you have mostly A's, you are clairaudient, clear hearing. If you have mostly B's, you're clairvoyant. C's, you're clairsentient, feeling. D's, you're claircognizant, knowing. Keeping in mind that clairvoyant is not being psychic or all of that. It's actually clear seeing, and it usually pops up as images in your mind, not with your actual eyeballs. We usually have 1 to 2 strengths, but go with the one that's popping out more. And if you are down the middle, go with the one that you know inside is your strength. A lot of times we have a primary and a secondary. And if you practice all of them, you'll get great at all of them. It takes practice. So now that you know your intuitive language, we're going to go on a little journey. We're going to remember what our intuitive language is, because we're going to use that knowledge now of our psychic superpower. Do you hear, see, feel, or know? To allow us to receive the message, the answer to that question from your soul to you. If you haven't already, pull out your cell phone, take a selfie. I want to get a photo of you for after. This is going to help you. It's going to be an exercise after the hypnotic journey. Don't let the word hypnotic freak you out. It's just a deep meditative state. We're just going to relax and move through some layers of energy through a guided meditation. And we're going to connect in with your soul. If you want to learn more about exercises to strengthen your psychic superpower, we are going to be running a program, a 6-week program starting in June. So DM me or check the link below for information about that. Right now, there's actually a 50% off if you sign up for the waitlist through the weekend. There's no guarantee. I mean, there's a guarantee of the 50% off, but there's no commitment to actually join. But if you sign up for the wait list, that guarantees you the 50% off if you do decide to join. But how would your life change if you were able to know how to easily decode your messages? Think about it. What would that mean for you in your life to not have to second guess yourself? What would that look and feel like for you? What are the things you want in life? Think about it. Where were you a year ago? Are you in the same spot that you were a year ago? Be honest with yourself. And if you are, and we don't make any changes, do you want to be in the same position a year from now where you are today? Even if you've grown a ton from a year ago. I love it. I love it. Do you want to be exactly the way you are today a year from now? Or do you want to be more evolved and make your life easier by just knowing the answers to all your questions, never having to second guess yourself? And it all boils down to knowing your value, having an open dialogue with your soul. What if you could easily hear that inner voice or feel that inner voice or know that inner voice or see that inner voice? All right, who's ready to meet their soul? When we go through this process, it's going to be gentle, relaxing, and easy. So find yourself in a comfortable position now, whether it's seated or lying down. Take a moment. I'll give you a minute to get settled. And when we start to bring in the energy of your soul essence and your higher self, I want you to take note of what she looks like, what colors she's wearing, what demeanor she has, what she feels like being in her presence, what she's doing. Take it all in because we are going to embody her at the end. And then we're going to go back to your photo and we're going to have her communicate through you to that photo, to this human you that you are in right now. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put on a little background music. When you are nice and comfortable, closing your eyes, allow yourself, if you are sitting, to sit up nice and straight so your spine is nice and straight. As if a string is pulling up the top of your head. Taking a big, deep breath in, placing one hand on your heart and one hand on your tummy. Allow yourself to connect in with your human. Begin to soften your forehead. Relaxing your scalp. Relaxing and dropping your neck and your shoulders. Feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders just melt away. Allowing that relaxation to move down into your chest and your rib cage. Feeling your stomach soften and allow it to expand, moving that energy around. Noticing your physical body becoming heavier and heavier. Feeling your legs becoming more and more relaxed. I will be opening up the Reiki energy to send to you across all time and space if you want to receive it during our soul journey. If you do, say yes. Maybe you feel energy now swirling around you. Become familiar with recognizing how to feel energy. Notice your physical body relaxed, heavy. And when you're ready, allow yourself to notice your energy slightly lifting and separating from your physical body. I'm sending energetic love and emotional healing to you now. Now allow yourself to see, feel, sense, or just know at the top of your head an energetic elevator. Maybe it looks or feels like a tube. Maybe it's a lift. When you are ready, envision at the top of your head a lotus flower opening up, allowing the energy that lives inside of you, that soul essence that lives in your gut, to make the decision to travel, to see her higher self, to reconnect in with you, all of you, your infinite being. There's nothing to be afraid of. You are safe. This is you. So as you make the decision to allow your energy to move up from the top of your stomach, allow it to move through your throat, up through your eyes, and out of that beautiful lotus flower into the energetic elevator. Allow yourself to feel safe in the safety and protection of the elevator moving through the sky, the cosmos, as you're able to look down and feel that Mother Earth energy and the earth itself holding your physical body below you, as you can feel yourself lifting. Maybe you see yourself lifting. Maybe you know. Maybe you hear. And as we go up, we travel through energetic stairwells. Energetic floors. We move up 1, 2, moving up 3, 4. The closer you get to the divine energy of yourself, the lighter you feel and become. Moving up 5 and 6, feel that lightness. Everything is shifting. Welcome it. Your physical body is getting what it needs. It needs rest to rejuvenate. Now give your energetic body what it needs. Moving up 8, 9. And when that elevator reaches that 10th level, see a golden door. When you're ready, allow that door to open. What do you feel? What do you see? What do you sense, smell, or know? And when you're ready, I want you to cross that threshold into your higher self's sacred space. She created this space for you to welcome you so that you feel safe, protected, and loved. Allow yourself to look around in your mind's eye, keeping your physical eyes closed. If your hands are still on your heart and your stomach, allow them to rest down at your sides or in your lap with your palms facing up to receive the light energy. What colors are in your sacred space? Is it inside or outside? How does it feel? Is there furniture? If you're outside, is there a piece of nature that is calling you to sit? Move towards the location of your sacred space that is reserved for you to sit and receive. Allow yourself to energetically sit in your environment that your higher self created just for you. Taking a big deep breath, exhaling out, allowing everything to drop away. Begin to notice or feel, maybe you see a beautiful bright star in front of you. It's a little bit off into the distance. Allow this beautiful star to be created and grow. You automatically feel that connection with this energy. Feel it now. Sense it now. Hear it or know it now. And we will now do the soul sync method. Allow yourself to sense, see, feel, or know this energetic star. Our focus is now 100% on the star. Our mind is clear. Place your tongue on the roof of your mouth. This connects us in with the higher energies. It cuts off part of our human survival. It allows us to relax. And with 3 breaths, I want you to blow out as if you're blowing out a candle with your tongue still on the roof of your mouth. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. Now, we're going to do one last deep breath. The intention here is not to allow your shoulders to rise or fall. Keep them as they are. Keeping your head nice and straight. Everything is coming from breath, not your physical body. We're going to take a big deep breath in. Your tongue does not need to be on the roof of your mouth. But as you exhale, the biggest, deepest breath that you've had yet today, with an audible sigh as if you're going down a slide. Let's do it together. Big breath. Do not raise your shoulders. It's all breath. Find your energy settling in to your gut area. Where do you feel that now? All of your intention and your energy is within your stomach. Allow that stomach area to connect in with that bright star as you begin to see, feel, or know an image moving towards you. What does she feel like? What does she look like? And maybe you can't see her, and that's okay. Maybe you feel her. Maybe you simply know, or maybe you just trust. How does she move? What's an attribute of hers? Does she exude wisdom, strength, love, tenderness? This is you on the deepest level. Allow your higher self to sit next to you, connecting your stomach right at the top of your stomach, envisioning now that you have that bright star right there. And you can feel, sense, see, or just know your higher self who's sitting right next to you. What side of you is she on, the right or the left? And now allow yourself to prepare your question without thought as we do another soul slide breath, breathing all the way up, not raising your shoulders. And then out. Woo. And now ask your question out loud to her and wait. If you hear mental clutter, just like in a whiteboard, erase and let it move on. Quiet your mind. Did you already receive your message? How did it come through? And if you didn't receive your message right now, set the intention for it to drop in within the next 24 hours. You might be trying too hard, and that's okay. Maybe you received a message and you're not certain that it was your soul, intuition, or yourself. I promise you, if you received a message or a feeling or a thought or an image, it was a message from your soul self, because we are intentional right now. And our soul will not allow us to get in our own way if we are willing to participate and let go, surrender. Now allow your higher self, soul's energy, that bright, illuminating star, to incorporate into your energy. As you see, sense, feel, or know your star right at the top of your stomach, your gut, getting bigger and brighter, almost like she climbed into you and is settling in. Take one last look around your sacred space and allow yourself to rise and move backwards out of respect and honor for that sacred space, making your way back through those golden doors into the energetic elevator, and find yourself moving down to the call of Mother Earth. 10, 9, feeling heavier. 8, 7, feeling more and more pulled to Mother Earth, down, heavier, denser. 6, 5. Maybe your head is feeling lightheaded because of the vibration change, just like elevation change in the mountains and the sea level. Same thing happens with energetics. That just means that you are moving through the layers. 4, 3, 2. Feel that last pull and call of Mother Earth's gravity, loving and asking you to come back to this planet that she provides for you. And 1. See that elevator coming all the way down into your gut as your lotus flower closes. And allow yourself to not fully come out of this relaxed state. And I want you to open your eyes and grab the photo of yourself that you took a little over an hour ago. And I want you, for the very first time, to see your human through your soul's eyes. And I want you to say out loud, with the love that your soul has for your human, thank you. Say this out loud. Use your name. Talk to this version of you that's on this photo in front of you. Say thank you for being my best friend and partner in this life. Thank you for always doing the best you can with whatever you have, trying your hardest maybe not always succeeding. Thank you for going on this journey with me. Thank you for supporting me. I understand you are limited. Thank you. You are so loved. You are so loved. You are so loved. You are my best friend. You are my partner. And I will always protect and guide you in your highest and best interest. Now close your eyes once again, placing your hand on your heart and your other hand on your stomach, and allow your soul essence with more of your higher self energy incorporated to settle in. Take a moment to let this settle. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and come back to the call. How did that feel for you? Put it in the comments. I want to know what your journey was like. And I encourage you to take away these key knowings. You are more than just your human. You are more than just your body. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. Everything is energy. And you have a direct line of communication to all of the answers you seek. If you open yourself up, you learn how to decode, you work at it, you practice. And if you want more support, I created this workbook for you. The link is in the comments. Work through the workbook down here on this left side. It says workbook. Click on that. You will see a whole bunch of stuff to help you work through this process. And if you're wanting even more assistance to do it in a group together with women just like you, alongside of me, in June, we are starting a 6-week soul intuition. Today was the awakening. It's going to be the activation. We're going to hone in on everything you need to know so that you can begin to master decoding your intuition. You're going to learn the soul sync method to be able to tap into your soul intuition without having to go through the guided journey. You're also going to start to learn some soul coding. And we're going to create a soul success plan for you to move forward in the future so that your life changes